Hey y'all, I'm Shannon Gray, the Agribusiness News Director at KGNC AM. We are live at the Farm and Ranch show today, and I have a very special guest. This is Richard Fordyce. He's the administrator for the FSA. And Richard, thanks so much for being here in Amarillo this week.
Absolutely. This has been, I've been here a couple of days and did a little bit of farm touring yesterday. Most of the day has been spent here at the Farm and Ranch show and all the activities surrounding that. So it's been a really good couple of days.
So what all did you go out and see yesterday?
So we toured some CRP. We drove a lot of miles and looked at a lot of different crops, no-till wheat, conventional wheat, a lot of cotton that's already been harvested, some cotton still in the field. So I literally love this country. This is beautiful country.
It's kind of unique in the Texas Panhandle, I think, because we have such a range of things that people are able to produce here.
Right. It looks like the diversity is really good, and I also love flat land.
Oh, the sky's really big.
Yeah,
right?
It is. I said it was big country for sure.
Yeah. We hear that a lot, and we are so grateful that you would take the time to come and speak to us in person. As you mentioned, you've been here a couple of days speaking with producers one-on-one. What are the main topics that they're really discussing with you?
So I was talking to producers, but also talking to our staff.
Okay.
We have, the Farm Service Agency has amazing people that work for it, and your listeners are going to know those folks as the people in the local county office. Yeah. We have them in the state office, in College Station. And then in headquarters, in Washington, D.C. and Kansas City, we have folks there as well. But to a person, I'm talking about the staff.
Okay.
To a person, they are passionate, they understand agriculture, they want to support that local agricultural effort in that local county. And so talking to them about, issues that we can help with from a headquarters perspective, that also would translate into better customer service, better service for farmers and ranchers that come into the door. But the farmers I was talking to over the last couple of days, appreciative of the market facilitation program payments. We just did the second payment, the 25%. Wondering if there's going to be the final third payment.
Yes.
I don't know. I
Okay.
mean, that's the Secretary's determination, and we'll take a look at that in January. So not too far in the future. We'll take a look at that and see how some of these trade disruptions or if it's still impacting the market. And if it is, I'm fairly sure we'll make that third payment. We'll have to wait and see.
Okay. Now, when we talk about the MFP payments coupled with tariffs, obviously all of that's up in the air. The tariffs, one day they're up, they're down. The payments are really unknown. Is this a sustainable way to move forward for the future of agriculture?
So I would say that certainly the trade relationship with the big elephant in the room, China, needs to be improved from the U.S.'s perspective. And I think, this administration, this president have kind of the wherewithal and the gumption to go try to do that.
Yeah.
And it's certainly been painful from an ag perspective. That's why we stepped in with the market facilitation program payments. I'm not going to say that those payments may make folks whole. They likely don't. But there's certainly a help. My hope is that we get to a place, certainly with China. We've also got the USMCA trade deal, that we're trying to get Congress to ratify. Hopefully that happens fairly soon. All those things will help. And in my opinion, in my view, will create a stronger foundation for agriculture across the board. I mean, even, you think about the diversity here in the Panhandle, will support most of the crops that are grown here. So I'm optimistic. I don't know what the timeline is. But I do know that while we're going through this at this point in time, those market facilitation program payments are pretty important.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, going along with that, the FSA does distribute farm loans. That's one of your major things. We hear right now a lot in the media, bankruptcies for farms are at an all-time high. A lot of farmers are going to non-ag lenders to get enough funds to stay afloat. Is the FSA acknowledging that there's an issue with this at all? Or are y'all working on maybe a way to mitigate that?
Oh, absolutely. So we step in. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but we step in and provide ag credit for a lot of folks. You know, one of our biggest sectors is new and beginning farmers, but we have a lot of borrowers that have been with us for a period of time. You know, maybe that financial position isn't as strong as it had been. They can come to us. We can extend credit. You know, reduced interest rates. I mean, that helps a lot. We analyze it a lot, talk about it a lot. How can we engage? You know, Congress in the 2018 Farm Bill raised some of the loan limits, so we're actually seeing some new farmers. We're seeing farmers we haven't seen because we've actually raised those loan limits to be more representative of agriculture today. You know, could they stand even a little bit more? I think so. But we have seen that increase in loan limits, which has also seen an increase in volume. So we're a fairly significant ag lender in the ag sector.
Okay, great. Now, the last question I have is that I know you previously sat on the National Biodiesel Board. We have this situation right now, obviously, with EPA small refinery exemptions. President Trump promised one thing. EPA is kind of coming back with their rebuttal to that, which is a lot lower. What do you think needs to happen to make us successful in ironing that situation?
Well, you know, I did. I served on National Biodiesel Board for 4 years, and I'm not up on the intricacies of kind of where we are. But I will say this: you know, the RFS calls for volumes,
right?
And those volumes are there for a reason. And we need to respect those volumes and hit those volumes. You know, the small refinery exemptions. You know, I think every story has two sides, right?
Absolutely.
And so there was absolutely a reason for that in some cases.
Yes.
But it was expanded to a point where it's been harmful. And so, you know, I believe, again, whether it's trade, whether it's working through trade agreements, whether it's the renewable fuel standard, you know, we will get to a place that I think more people can agree on than don't agree on. Again, what that timeline is, I don't know.
It's such a hard time because it really is, like you said, it's so up in the air. We just have to kind of grit our teeth and stick it out.
It is, and you know, and I would say too that, you know, none of us like change. I mean, honestly, we can say that we do, but we don't.
It's true,
right?
Yeah.
And so, you know, this administration is making some changes, and their you know, their motivation is to make it at the end to make it better. And so, I mean, I'm confident that it's going to get there. Again, I don't know when, but I like the approach.
Yeah, well, great. I really appreciate you taking the time again. Is there anything else that you wanted to add today?
You know, the only thing I would add again, and I want to talk about the amazing people that work for this agency on behalf of farmers and ranchers. You know, they do great work, and they are so committed to supporting agriculture and supporting those farmers and ranchers. I know I said that earlier, but I wanted to say it again. Because they are the heroes of this agency. I mean, they're where the rubber meets the road, and they're getting it done. And so I want to say a big thank you to them.
Great. Yeah, we thank everyone locally who works at the FSA offices. Y'all, if you have any questions, those are the people you need to go to. You can also talk to your local lobbying groups as well. But for KGNC Agribusiness News, I'm Shannon.